Hey campers, it's Emily, and we have a special guest today that I know that you recognize. Barrie Barton is here. She's in your videos talking about public speaking and developing your pitch. And we're going to chat again today about sharing your message and why that's so important. So welcome to the live stream, Barrie.
Hello, Emily, and hello, everyone. Nice to see you, Emily. It's been a while.
Yeah, we've had a really fun summer working with all of our campers. So with you, we filmed your videos a couple of months ago in the spring when Ella met with you at the theater. And then we had all the camps start. And so campers have been going through this process for several months. And I'm just really excited to bring you back and be able to talk more about something that I know you really, really love. And that's the power of your message and how to share that through your voice. So for the campers who don't know a little bit about your history, Barrie, can you tell us more about who you are and what is it that you do in your business?
Yes. So my name is Barrie Barton, and I am a speaking coach with Stand and Deliver Asheville. And where I started actually in the work that I do in helping people to build their confidence and to have that sense of presence and to deliver that strong and remarkable message of your business, I actually started as a dancer, as a performer. So I had a lot of stage experience. And then I became an educator. So I was working with high school students, with adults, in helping them find their bodies, their presence, their stage presence, and creating that bridge. It's really about you creating that bridge to your audience so that they understand what you're saying, that they're inspired what you're saying. And so that was a lot of my background. And then I shifted over into becoming a speaking coach, which is now more into the business world and not so much in the artistic world. So that is what I do, and I've been working with individuals, with women, entrepreneurs, and right now I am having a terrific time working with an architect company, with architects and engineers. So it's been quite a journey over the last couple of months doing trainings on the virtual platform. So I'm glad to be here with you all today and offer information, inspiration, and whatever it is that I can help you get better at.
Well, and so it's funny you said you started in dance. I also started in theater of, being in musicals and being on stage. And I never knew that that was going to be something that I became so passionate about, of being able to just stand in front of a room full of people and talk about something, anything.
Yeah.
It's funny how you start developing those skills in ways that you don't always expect.
It really is. And I remember, as a kid, of course, saying, oh, when am I ever going to use math? Well,
right.
I actually need to use math in my
all
business.
The time.
I mean, yeah, you just don't think you are, but you do. So, yeah, I love to dance. And it's interesting because what's happened in this transference over to stories and speeches is that I've had to find my own voice, because as a dancer, the expressive qualities came through my body. So I never had to open my voice. So part of the work that I'm doing as a speaking coach is actually learning for myself, how do I find my own voice, which did not come naturally for me. Truly, it didn't, and I still have to work at that. So it's a work in progress, always. Always.
Well, and so it's the same thing in theater, is because, even though you're using your voice, you're reading from a script, that
Right.
You're using other people's language, other people's message. And so having to then move into the realm of figuring out what it is that you want to say, what are your words,
yes.
That is a completely different process. And I know that that's something that our campers have been really looking at for their pitch, and, crafting their creative magic and kind of their mission statement, and really landing in what are the words that best represent what I stand for, what is my message, and then how do I share it. So in the work that you do, and you talked about how one of your big clients right now is an architect firm, and you and I actually go back to TEDx, that we've worked with TEDx presenters and seeing kind of the full range of the way that people share their message. Can you talk about why it's really important to land on a message that makes sense to you and to be comfortable sharing it with the world?
Yeah, so I think I think it taps into, really, I think at the base level, it taps into not just what is the message, but I think what you're representing is a part of who you are. It's a part of your passion. It's a part of what you believe in. And so in a way, you're really transferring a part of yourself through these words. So the words simply are the delivery system to express who you are, how you live, what's important to you, and then transferring it over to people that potentially resonate with your calling, with your service, with your product. So it's that kind of exchange as well. But I think at the core, it's really about representing who you are, and you find those perfect words, you find that message that really resonates inside of you first, so that you can really stand in it strongly and deliver it with confidence and certainty.
Well, and so do you have any tips for girls that are going through this process and they're wondering how they find those things, how they listen to themselves, whether it's meditation or journaling? What are things that you would encourage these girls to do as they are trying to figure out what those words are?
You know, for me, I know this may sound a little willy-nilly, but I find when I start looking for those things, those sources of inspiration, or I sit down with a pen and I'm trying to pull this stuff out of somewhere, it just doesn't arrive.
Yeah.
But it is when I'm out on a hike. It is when I'm in a moment, in a place where I'm just in a joy spot, hanging out on my porch, drinking my coffee in the morning, walking my dog. It's in those times when I kind of let go that the creative mind actually starts accessing your particular wisdom. And what I suggest is for folks just to start like making, writing down keywords or images or metaphors or anything that comes to mind. And this is really with anything that you have going on in your life. Just tap into that creative and then grab, if a word lands, if an image lands, just write it down. You don't have to do anything with it. But after you've gathered maybe 10 or 20 of those images and words, qualities, characteristics, values, all of a sudden it starts to, you get the picture. It's like, oh, there's that. Now I'm seeing the connection between that word and that image and that value. And then all of a sudden it comes very, very clear in your mind. And it's like, that's what I need to do. That's what I have found, is when I actually let go and stop looking for it is when it shows up.
That's awesome advice. And I completely agree. I mean, sinking into those moments of bliss and really surrendering to
Yeah.
not thinking, it's often when you get your best ideas. Well, and so the other question that I have is, our campers are young. They're, a lot of them are 10 years old. What do you talk about when it comes to that message changing or evolving with you? How important is it to let it keep changing?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm 60 years old and I'm still changing. I'm constantly changing. And I think that is one of the best things that you can adopt as a young woman, as a entrepreneur, as a creative mind, is the sense of lifelong learning. I am a work in progress. And your minds will remain open, your hearts will remain open, and you will receive so much more in your life with that kind of attitude. Be prepared to be changed. Be prepared to decide to change. Sometimes it's coming from the outside. Sometimes we have things that change us that we didn't invite in. But welcome those things as well. And then sometimes we decide, you know what? this way I'm doing my life is not working. I am choosing to change. So be constantly willing to evolve as a young woman, and I promise you, you will have an exciting and fulfilling life.
Well, and so the last part is really focusing on, the title that we had for this video, and that is sharing your message, right? So getting clear on what it is that you stand for, that's a very personal process, right?
Yeah.
Gearing up to then share that with the world, that you've started to uncover these elements of yourself that are deeply personal, that you value so much. How then do you start practicing that sometimes scary step of then sharing it,
Right.
speaking it out loud, and making sure that people know that what that is? What advice do you have for campers on getting closer to being ready to share that with others?
So part of my training, I have this particular, one of the modalities that I use is called an inner authority. And what that inner authority is kind of like, I would equate it to you having inside of you your own coach. So it's that voice inside of you that is getting up to speak in front of your class, to let's say you have to speak to your class, that inner voice says, I can do this. I've done something like this before and I was successful before. I'm learning. I have this great opportunity to learn. It's those kinds of positive messages that you can instill inside of yourself rather than the common voice that comes up in our mind, which is, oh my God, I'm going to fail. Oh my God, everybody's going to laugh at me. Oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. It's making the other voice, the good coach inside of you say, I can do this. I've done this before. I'm learning how to get better by doing this today. So developing that inner coach inside of you, find that positive voice, find that affirming voice inside of you. And that too, you have one of those voices inside of you. As you grow older, that will be a good friend to carry with you into all kinds of life experiences.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, so Barrie, as always, you share so much wisdom and insight with our camp. So I really appreciate you joining us for today and talking more about the power of your message,
Thank you.
as well as thank you for having been in our videos and helping us really build all of our public speaking parts of Camp Girl Boss.
Well, I really believe in this program. I believe in all of you who are watching this, and you have this power now. You have this information, and you have access to something that is precious and poignant and purposeful. So have a great rest of your summer, and wish you all a really, really good upcoming school year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, campers, if you have a question that you want to ask Barrie, be sure to post it in the forum and I will email it to her and share her response there. Barrie, thank you again for joining us today. And I hope you have a great rest of your day and great rest of your week.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.